hello, beautiful people. We are live. I'm greeting you from beautiful Croatia. I'm so hot. I can't even tell you, but I wanted to give you the pleasure of these views and get some extra tan myself. So here I am. Hello. And if you are also on holidays, let us know where you are right now. If you're at home, let us know where you are joining us from. My name is Lucia Hoxa. I'm fertility mindset coach, and I support women all over the world to live the life they love. And I love my life. It doesn't mean that it's perfect. It just means that I get to be powerful in dealing with any kind of challenges that I'm facing, and I keep on creating things that I love in my life, and designing in the kind of way that one day when I'm on my deathbed, I will look back and I will be thinking, wow, you know what, it was so worth it. So that's a little bit about me, and now a little bit about our very light-hearted subject. Hi Monica, I'm in Croatia, in Rozgonica. Am I saying it right? I don't know, Croatian people correct me here. Yes, I'm in Croatia on my holidays with my family right now. Hello, where are you, Moni? Where are you at the moment? Let us know, all of you, where are you joining us from? And today I have very light-hearted subject. I thought that it will fit in to this kind of weather and this kind of mood, and I will be talking about 5 reasons why taking the time off work and our kind of daily mundane routine is so important for all of us. So 2 weeks ago we've been talking about quite a heavy subject that I felt that it was still very important to bring up. We've been talking about miscarriage and how to deal with it, and now I decided to lighten it up a little bit. This streaming might be a little bit shorter because, guys, it's, I don't know, I don't dare to say how hot it is, but I will keep on drinking, make sure that I will get to the end. Some of the things we will be talking about might be obvious today, but you know, like hearing them or reading about them is one thing. Applying them to your life is completely whole different ball game. And so oh, Monica is saying she's in Albania. Oh honey, we didn't go to Albania this year. First year we are missing Albania, but we stopped halfway there. Anyway, I might see you there next year. Sorry, this is interactive, so please write to me. I love to hear from you also, and questions as we go through these subjects. Very welcome. First of all, I want to make a confession talking about this subject. I'm one of those girls, and well, I can say I was one of those girls for sure, who found it very difficult to, you know, take a time off and take a break and kind of do nothing. And you know, and that paid it cost me, you know, it cost me. And not only it cost me like a lot of, you know, quite a few burnouts and exhaustion, but it also cost me, you know, my well-being, and impacted my relationships, and even performance, right? That no matter how much you love doing something, like I've been coaching for almost 20 years now, but no matter how much you love something, you start kind of almost hating it if you're doing too much of it, okay? It doesn't matter whether it's ski jump or, you know, whatever it is in life. So the break is absolutely crucial and very important. And we will be talking about today about several reasons why, and also my own experiences, how I shifted this relationship with taking break in my life, and how much I enjoy it now. And I do so little on these holidays, guys. I just, because, you know, I honor my promise and I stream every 2 weeks. I decided to do this because my kids are sleeping right now. But I hope you can still see me. Oh, I can barely see the screen now. Let me know if you can see me. Sorry, I'm just going to, oops, I think I switched you over. Hold on a second, because I think I accidentally clicked on the other side. Oops. I am just going to, this is different, and I'm back. Sorry, it's so much sun here that you just saw my sister-in-law making a lunch for us, and my little nephew and my kid sleeping. But anyway, we are back, and I will try not to touch the screen this time. So today we will be talking about the reason why is it, like, obvious and less obvious reasons why it is so important to, you know, take a time off during our, you know, in our life. And, you know, I'm not just talking about holidays. Of course, it's ideal if we have a chance to go to Fiji for 2 weeks, or, you know, if we have a chance to do the proper break. Obviously, longer the better. If you are able to take sabbatical, which many of my friends, including me, took for 1 year, you know, that's fantastic. But when I'm talking about holidays and time off, it doesn't have to be, you know, long, extended period of time. What happened to me and what proved me beneficial in my life was actually take a regular breaks every so often, you know, even if it was like 1 day, or it was like some kind of like routine rule that, you know, like Sundays I don't work. And when I say I don't work, I maybe do a little bit, like even like early in the morning, like half hour, and that's it. I'm switching off the phone for the rest of the day. That's what I consider like not working, is that you actually don't even have your phone on online. So regular breaks, it's very, very important to have some kind of internal rules that you are not, you know, something to look forward to. Because, you know, in my life, and I don't know how about for you guys, but in my life I got to the stage where I didn't even know when is the weekend. Like, weekend and work week didn't matter for me, especially for those of you who are self-employed. Could have, you know, been in this kind of situation where, you know, it's like days and weeks are merging in. Like, that's when you know you're going wrong. And so it's very important to kind of set up that kind of rule that is going to work for you. And also another thing that is very important is to have regular holidays or times of like getaways, you know, well, for me what works at least every like 6 weeks, like something even like 3 days off, or like even mini holidays, like 1 day walks in a forest. I mean, I have much more of that now, but it didn't used to be the case, and my life looked very different then. Important is to plan something, you know, whether with your friends or family. Like, planning is very important in this kind of stuff, like the same way as you plan your work schedule or anything else, you know, your shopping list. The same way is important to plan your time off in your, you know, for yourself, for your holidays, or for your getaway, weekend getaways, or so much, or so on. The reason for that is that mentally you have something to look forward to as well. That you are not feeling like you are constantly just, you know, in this rat race of working. Very, very important. Our mental health well-being, and I will say millions of times, is as important as our health, you know, on a physical level. Very, very important. So let's now talk about 5, before my computer melts down, about 5 reasons why it's good to take off time work. Now, first of all is, you know, first benefit is mental clarity. You know, it does give you mental clarity to take a time off work. Why? Because, you know, you often, if you push yourself, you know, too hard, in some point your mind, your brain is going to push back. That's just like physics, you know, that's how it works. It's going to not want to do things that you are asking your brain to do. It's just simply, you know, it gets to the stage of exhaustion. Like, I remember this time when I used to work for government many years ago, where I got to the office, I switched on the computer, and one sentence in an email took me, I don't know, like 15 minutes to read, and I still didn't know what it means. My brain was fried. I was working 16-hour days at that time. I was working on very, very responsible jobs, and I was burned out. Like that's the extreme side of it. But in some variation, your brain, if you don't give him enough rest and break and kind of the change, because they say the change is as good as a break, changing of environment, of the scenery, of the kind of things that you do, routine. I mean, it's very, very important. It's very refreshing for your brain and absolute necessity. So, and even one day can bring you this if you really choose to relax in a way that is going to nourish you. So first of all, mental clarity is what the break gives you. That kind of, I would say, working a lot and being in this rat race, you get too much inside, like sucked in the daily millions of tasks to do. So what you need during this break, it almost lifts you up, or I have this experience, it almost lifts you up from this experience of this never-ending routine. And it gives you kind of ego perspective to look at the things, even problems in your life, from the fresh, very new perspective, where you suddenly can maybe even see the solutions you never seen before, and you would probably never see before. So very, very healthy, this one. Another benefit is improved productivity. So when you're starting feeling like burned out, sorry guys, I'm sweating so much. When you're starting like to feel burned out, even the simplest things, like I described to you, like reading one sentence in an email, can be so much of a hard work and such a big challenge. And your passions start vanishing. You start not feeling like you wanna, you start feeling like there's no end to this thing, to life, to work, to things to do. And you know what is funny, guys? The more we work, the more work we have. Did you ever notice that? I once had a big aha moment when I realized that, my God, we think that the more emails or messages we reply, the less work we will have, right? Like that's like done. But the truth is, guess what happens when you reply on an email? Well, another one comes back. So, overworking or, working late, the what's called overtimes are not actually even serving us, because the more work we put out there as a, replying on emails, for example, the more will come back. If your boss finds out you are super duper, efficient and you can really take on a lot of jobs, well, guess what they are going to do? They're going to give you more, because they even say, right, like if you want to have things done, give it to the busiest person in the office. Well, and if you are the clever one, the busy one, the smart one who anybody and everybody can rely on, well, the chances are you are going to get it on your desk. And the chances are, if you're going to stay there over time, they are more likely to catch you. So really, like, looking at the pluses and minuses, plus, this thing about overtime, like we often do it to look good, to look like, and subconsciously we often feel like we are not good enough, but that's not true actually. On the outside, big bosses, they never stayed late. They are often playing golf somewhere. They are working smart, not working hard. So, maybe the question is, how can I, work smarter rather than work harder to look good? Another benefit of taking a time off is better work-life balance, or better balance and harmony in life in general. Now, If you are not taking a breaks in your life, it's very, very hard to maintain even like positive mindset, or never mind like positive work-life balance. There is no work-life balance. So, the question again to yourself is, what would your life look like? What would need to happen for you to experience the healthy work-life balance, for you to feel that you are feeling good, that you are not waking up tired in the morning, that you have a space for your friends and hobbies and creativity? What would it take for you to maintain work-life balance? Or what kind of job, another question, what kind of job would you have to have so you don't feel like you're working? That's a long haul, right? Because now I must say my job is not my job. It is, but it isn't, because I'm kind of merging it in, and it's more like I feel like on a playground. This for past 9 or 10 years, what I do and what I earn money through was my passion, was my playground. Yes, like and in terms of fulfilling my purpose and supporting women all over the world, and leaving something very leaving an impact in people's lives. Not always been the case. I used to be a corporate girl, and maybe many of you watching me are still in this environment, which is nothing wrong with it. You might love your job, I'm not saying, but like, the question is like, what would is definitely, if we have a job that is, we feel like is sucking the energy out of us, we definitely need even more of a break from this kind of job. And inside this break, guys, on these holidays, you might even come up with solutions about, find the courage about what to do next. How many times it happened to me that when my clients that I was coaching on a burnout, they finally gave themselves permission to take a break and go on a holidays. And you would be amazed through the coaching, through this time of change of environment, all those things, exercises that I gave them, through this personal development inside job that they went through. It's unbelievable how their lives completely like changed and transformed, like 180 degrees, right? Like some of them, it's been many years now, they went through this transformation, and they're completely in different field. They are doing what they love, they are working less hours, they are earning more money, most of them, and but definitely like landed in a place which feels good for them. That's very important. So work-life balance is not just about the taking time off work, but also about work not being such a chore, and such a, if you're going to work and you feel sick on Sunday evening, I always say it's not worth any money in the world. That's my view anyway. I want to share with you. I've been there, by the way, many times. Another benefit of taking time off work is you get improved focus. Like even in yoga, I used to teach for many years. Some of the postures are about, especially balancing postures, are about like keeping the focus on one spot so you don't fall from the posture. And it's very, very important to have that one pointed focus. Like, especially as women, we are famous for doing a lot of things at the same time, and it's possible, we are good at it. However, it's very important to keep whatever we do, even if we have millions of things to do every day, but for that particular moment, focus on one thing only, on one thing only. And then once you complete that, focus on another thing. But that seemed to be very hard when we get into that stage of overwhelm and tiredness combined with exhaustion, because we didn't have a break for a long time. that becomes a really difficult thing to do. So yes, it definitely gives you that kind of distance, gives you that time to reflect, to regenerate, to clarify things in your mind, even subconsciously, and it improves your focus. Another benefit, and that's the last fifth benefit I want to share with you, is it improves your relationships. It definitely improves your relationship taking a break. Even if you go on a holiday by yourself, it improves your relationship with yourself. And if you go for holidays with your family or friends, it is definitely nurturing time for you and the people you are with. But not only those people who you are on a holidays with, because you get a rest and you get, when we didn't have a break for a long time, at least I speak for myself, we get edgy, we get irritated, we get like, what else do you want? And when the phone rings, like, oh no, another thing to do, another person, you get kind of, it's too much, right? So you taking a break, it definitely, alters the way you respond to the world around you naturally, because you are more relaxed, because you feel that you've got something to give, of course, when we are exhausted after a long time, we didn't have holidays, we don't want anyone to ask us anything, not because we are not horrible people, but because we just have empty pot. We have nothing else to give, nowhere else to, dig in terms of our resources, So definitely when you nourish yourself with regular, breaks that improve your mental and emotional well-being, as well as your health, of course, that ultimately reflects on your relationship, especially in your intimate relationships or relationships with your partner. Because girls, let's put it this way, no more headaches when we are rested, when we have a massage, we are more likely to kind of make love with our partner, with our husband. So please, husbands and partners, if you want to give us a present, give us a nice little getaway somewhere, or a massage, or something which makes us kind of just switch off and feel good about ourselves and reconnect with our bodies. That's very important. So just a little recap, because guys, I'm totally melting. I think my computer is going to explode in 5 minutes. So hot. I dare to say, there is a little breeze you might see, but if that's not here, I would say it's a 50 degrees on the sunshine easy. So just a little recap. I'm so sorry. It's so much sunshine that I actually don't see your comments, but I will read your comments when I go in the shade. So I'm so sorry I'm not responding on it and not reading it right now. It's nigh on impossible. But if you have any questions or any kind of comments, you want to send it here, or in a personal message, let me know. In general, I want to recap this whole thing with saying that shifting my own mindset about taking a time off work was probably, even on my fertility journey, one of the most important milestone for me. Why? Because in the past, I even take a break. I'm not saying I didn't, but I took a break when I was almost like when I had no other option, when you're like sick or something, or to have a temperature. Or I took a break, but it wasn't really a break. I kept on working. Or I took a break, but I felt guilty. So, it was like I took a break during the day, but I was working at night, which is not really a break, right? So what I want to say, it's so important to change and shift and literally transform. For me, it was transforming my relationship with break. Realizing, and how it happened for me, it was to realize, and not only realize, but also experience the benefit of the tangible benefits of actually me switching off from the entire world. And once I realized the benefits are much higher and there is nothing to lose by, taking a proper break and regularly, there's only something to gain. That's when my relationship with feeling guilty, taking a break and retrieving from the world, that's when it shifted. And now I do it so often and so gladly, not only planned ones, even unplanned ones. Like I have no problem to just, even yesterday I just hibernated. I love that. I love spending time on my own and just do nothing, just pot around and give myself freedom to do nothing or do something that calls me in that moment, like making pancakes or anything like that. It is part of the freedom I think we all wish to experience, really. Like there is not even any money in the world. Like I know a lot of rich people, and one of the richest people has said to me, Lucia, maybe the biggest freedom in life is to eat whenever you're hungry and sleep whenever you feel like it. That's the ultimate, wealth in life. And I was thinking about it, it's actually really profound when you think about it, because not many of us actually have a chance to do that. And that's the man who told me this owns like 2/3 of the Cayman Islands. So I think he a little bit knows about when he talks about wealth. But it was something that I remembered it for a long time, and so I thought I'd share it with you. On this note, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It was a really short but hopefully useful Facebook Live that called some of you in. I see that little, I can see that more and more joining live. If you're joining us on replay, as I know a lot of people do, put in the comments hashtag replay. And in 2 weeks time I will be speaking to you soon, and again I'm going to create some subject that is, again, I feel that is interesting. And I always choose these things to talk about from either my own experiences or from intuitively, definitely, but from whatever my clients are going through or whatever I speak to you, that you are being challenged by, especially about things that many people don't talk about. I try to bring up the subjects that are going to not many people talking about so openly and so authentically, because I feel like it's important that we share, and not just from theoretical perspective, but also from my own experience and experience of my clients. So thank you so much for your suggestions and comments. If you have a suggestion, what would you like to talk about, please let me know. Send me a personal message or put it in the comments. I will really appreciate it. I've got a list of things that you already suggested, and we will get around them in some point for sure. But just to let you know that I'm writing them all down. Thank you so much. I'm going to cool down somewhere in air-conditioned room, but I'm so glad I could do this from here and not to disturb my kids who are sleeping in the rooms at the moment. Guys, love you loads. Have a beautiful rest of the summer, and I will speak to you just at the in 2 weeks time at the end of it.